Hello there. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes for other people to join. Tonight we're going to be talking about where limiting beliefs come from, part one, conception. So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes for some people to come on. And if you are watching, if you can just say who you are and where you're from, that way, I can have an idea of who's watching. Today was my daughter's 21st birthday. So that's a very exciting day for her. And just let me know how you're doing today. If anything special is going on today. We had my daughter's birthday party on Saturday, and she wanted masala chicken. Masala or marsala chicken, I can't remember now. But it was so good. Oh my word. I went out and I got marsala wine. It was such a good meal. So if you're watching, just let me know who you are and where you're from so that way I can see who's watching. Facebook doesn't let me know who is watching unless you comment. All right, well, we're going to get started on tonight's topic, becoming limitless. And I talked last week in the last video about what becoming limitless means and also what limiting beliefs are. So if you haven't watched the last video, go ahead and watch that after this. But tonight I want to talk about where limiting beliefs come from. And honestly, they come from so many different sources, the limiting beliefs do. But one area where they come from is conception. And now you might be thinking, oh, Tanya, that's just crazy. How could a limiting belief come to me in conception? I mean, your sperm and egg, how in the world does that happen? Well, the way it happens is whatever is going on between your parents at the time of your conception is energy that gets stored into your cells. And so as you are being formed, your cells are multiplying, that energy is now stored in every cell of yours. Now, it's not just your parents, what was going on between them, but what was going on between their parents as well at the time of their conception. And what was going on between, their grandparents and so on down the line. So you are carrying energy from generations ago. And that energy is emotional energy. Consider that everything is energy. Emotions are energy. Emotions are the most powerful energy in the universe. Emotions are what create civilizations. They are what make the downfall of civilizations. They create everything. Emotions, emotional energy is what the universe is built on, especially love. Love is the most powerful emotion and is the most powerful energy. So you have all these emotions that are in your cells. Now, there are certain conditions that are actually passed down to you. Conditions like addiction, certain types of cancers, certain mental illnesses. Those are all things that get passed down to you through the emotional energy. You have to consider that, let's take cancer for instance. A lot of times there might be a history of breast cancer in a family. And it's because someone in the family had something happen to them that brought on that breast cancer. Breast cancer is brought on by emotion. Every illness, every single illness has an emotional root. And it's not just illnesses, it's also, your frequency problems all have emotional roots. Everything has an emotional root to it. Now, if it's something that is passed down to you, it can be really, really hard to know where that problem came from. Fortunately, it's not necessarily as important to know where the problem came from. It's more important to know how to solve the problem. So even if you have a family history of, addiction, or let's say there's a family history of poverty, that's another thing. Family history of poverty. Um, if there's something, if you have a frequency problem that's a major issue in your life, the way you can know if it is something that originates from you, from your energy, or if it's something that came from someone else, is to look no further than your family tree. If there are other people in your family that are suffering from the same issue or very close to it, then more than likely it is something that was passed down to you. And now it's become your problem. So basically, you just have to know how to clear out that emotional energy that has been stored into your cells, so that way you can then manifest what you want. You then clear out that frequency problem and you manifest what you desire. So really, that is the best way of knowing if a problem you have is someone else's. All right. What you want to do is, first of all, focus, what is the problem? Okay. And this is where your intuition is going to come in. A lot of times when I'm talking to someone, and as I, get to know what the problem is, I can usually pinpoint where it originated from. I've actually had issues where it originated from 50,000 years ago. Or, I had another one where it originated from, the person's grandmother. So I can usually pinpoint where it came from. But all you have to do is, just quiet your mind and think about this problem that you have. And like I said, if you kind of look around your family tree, and see if there's other people in your family that have a problem similar to yours. And then what you want to do is to ask yourself, when did this problem start? When does this problem for you just show up in your life? Then you want to look back and ask yourself, okay, what was going on in my life a year or two prior to the problem beginning? What major event happened a year or two prior to the problem coming on? And then ask yourself, okay, what brought that on? What emotion brought that on? Was it, feeling like you didn't deserve something? Did you feel worthless? Was it shame? Was it, just kind of look at what was going on in your life a year or two prior to that problem coming on. Then what you want to do is consider, is there anyone that you know of in your family, like parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, on down the line, that had something happen? Do you know of any instance of where they had something happen that would have brought on that feeling of shame or worthlessness or not being good enough or not deserving something. And then that lets you know where the problem originated from. But like I said, you don't have to know where the problem originated from. You just have to be able to clear it out. And once you clear it out of your timeline, what happens is it clears out of those other people's timelines as well, going down that line. So you're actually healing the timeline. So that is my tip for tonight about, how frequency problems come on and how they're passed down. So, and the next time we'll be talking about childhood, frequency problems that come on in childhood. So, thank you for watching. Later.